Yeah. Yeah. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening out there? What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome to this fine Friday, New Year 2026 edition of BS with Hannas. Good morning. What's happening? I'm Nikki B. Hannas. The whole premise of this show, I like to wake up and take a nice walk, come in and read some good stuff. I'll come talk to the people. When I'm done here, I'm going to go lift some weights. It's a fine Friday. What do I do on Fridays? Well, you know, people like Fridays. I love the weekend, man. We love the weekend. Friday gym sesh means arms and chest. It's a chest and arms day on a fine Friday morning. Yeah, man. Welcome to 2020 motherfucking 6. It's a whole new world out here. And the holidays are almost over. Holy shit. Holiday week always jacks me up, dude. I get real excited. There's a long period of looking forward to Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then New Year's, and there's a bunch of time off work. You see your family, you see your friends, you buy shit for your friends, get shit from people, eat, put on a bunch of fucking weight, then spiral and get mad and have to New Year's resolution, get rid of all of it again. But to me, it's just like, yo, what up, EMP? Good morning, dog. Yeah, to me, it's like, all right, we're done with it. Let's get back to normal. And what is normal for most people? I don't know. Like I said the other day, I shouldn't speculate or postulate or assume I know what normal is for most people. I'm better off worrying about my motherfucking self. Hey, yo, Matty K, get some. Let's go. Happy Friday, dude. I appreciate you boys showing up here. Yeah, man, that's a high energy start to the fucking day. And I'm a little late starting this, a little later than I want to. Like I said, I like to read stuff in the morning before I come out here. I have to walk. I have to ponder. I have to get the mind right. Begin to activate the body. You know what I mean? And then as I'm reading stuff, I got like this big, when I do my morning readings, usually it's like daily stuff. I read stuff in the morning. I got a bunch of daily readers, you know, like Daily Stoic, the Daily Laws, like all types of stuff like that. I think it's very helpful. Even though most people's attention span isn't tremendous, allegedly. Mine's not super, like I'm not dialed in to an exceptional degree. So I usually have one book that I'm reading as like a main book. And then I have a bunch of side things. I'm usually reading 2 books at once. Usually one's more like subject oriented, one's more personal development, kind of like self-improvement oriented. Then I have all this other morning shit to read. And I'm looking at my stash. It started when I started this practice of like a daily reader in the morning. Read this every morning. Read this every day. I fucking had like 1 or 2. Now I'm looking at my little stash over here. I have about 10 of them. So it's kind of intimidating almost. There's like 10 things in my brain, I gotta fucking read. Just little things. It's like little snacks. But you know, it's all good. It's a really good thing, as a matter of fact. What do most people do in the new year? They fucking, new year, new me, and stay the same dude. Neither here nor there, you know? I think the same dude you should be, the same dude I'm trying to be, the same dude I'm trying to fucking stay turning into consistently. Just means you fucking keep ripping, keep staying after it, keep getting some, you know? And if that means I walk and read and talk, ponder, think, communicate, learn, and then go do what I have to do. And then when I'm done doing what I have to do, I get to do what I want to do. What I want to do should be good things. So, you know, that's, oh shit. That's the premise of this, man. You know, that's the premise of this. That's funny. It's all good, dude. It makes me laugh a little bit as I'm fucking just talking and going off on the YouTube. I came on here New Year's Eve night. New Year's Eve. Yeah, no shit, New Year's Eve night. I came on here New Year's Eve and I fucking had nothing. There was not even like a single guiding topic. And I was just going off. And those nighttime streams are a little different than the morning ones. But that's a fine thing, dude. I like this. It's 3 days a week I'm coming on here. My friends are in the motherfucking chat. What are you guys talking about magic in there? Yeah, Maddie almost killed us. His very first match at the Gathering game, he almost fucking won. It's good coaching right there. That's all it is. He said he definitely wasn't scoping out decks the next day. Yeah, you were. You don't lie. Don't lie to us out here. Yeah, what am I talking about today? Do I have any guidelines today besides being late because of this self-induced reading thing that I have to do? Yeah, I don't know. It's New Year's. I asked AI. So I like using AI, and after I formed this LLC, it's very helpful. So it's like I look at AI as simply a hyper Google search. It's like an interactive Google search squared. In other words, once upon a time, if I was like, Google, what's an operating agreement? It would give me a bunch of things to click and read, sift through on myself. Now the AI, it's like, what is an operating agreement? It's like an interactive fucking boom, 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 boom answer like that. Very helpful. So I like playing with it, and you can have fun with the AI and you can be political with it. You can try and trap it. You can say, gotcha, bitch, to a fucking AI machine. You can do whatever you want. Generate an image of this. We were making it's funny to take a picture and immediately put it into Google Gemini and be like, make this dude a pimp on a yacht with a bunch of girls. And it's just gonna have fun. Like AI is a tool like that. It's goofy. So I asked it the other day, like, give me topics for my podcast tomorrow. And one of them was because I type in, give me a topic for BS with Hannas. And there's enough content out there now where it'll search and reach for all this stuff that I've already published out here and then kind of use that. So it's like, given the show's edgy, unfiltered, raw advice and no BS talking points, here's a list of things that you could talk about the BS about. And one of them was dry January. Now, I've tried dry January a bunch of times before I got sober. It never stuck. But I like the idea of dry January. It's a curious thing to me, though. I don't think it's bullshit whatsoever. The AI said, talk about dry January and how it was something like how people feel the need to broadcast their decision making for the world to see for perceived brownie points or virtue signaling in some sense or another. That was kind of funny to me that AI gave me that as a topic. Most people, there's a certain amount of people, I guess, that'll do something like a dry January, or they'll do that thing where it's like, next year, I'm just going to not drink for a whole year. There's a lot of value in that, dude. Because as me getting sober, I can't stress enough. Maybe I'm just that. Maybe I was just that fucking type of fucked up alcoholic that I couldn't have any. Maybe I am just that, from people on the outside of the meeting rooms, not, maybe I am just that fucking kind of dude. Not everyone is. I acknowledge that. I get it. But it's almost like, man, if you have that part of you in you that wants to just not, let me go a whole month without drinking. Built into that presupposes that some part of that person knows they're drinking a little too much, or that the drinking ain't really helping them, or that the drinking is detrimental to them and hurting them and being an adverse thing in their life. Extend that to a year, Maybe I'm gonna go this whole year. I'm gonna go 365 calendar days without drinking. Well, why? Why? Well, because of the negative health benefits and the money, and I just there's a whole list of things that go into that. But sometimes it seems to me, people that do that, they're just not. There's a certain level of just not being honest. If you're gonna not drink because it's bad, why don't you just not drink? Maybe that's just me, but like it seems as if to me there's a level of just dishonesty built into it, or kind of just bullshitting, or kind of just putting a veneer on it. So here's my advice to the world at large, to the YouTube populace at large. Not so much YouTube homies in the chat. You guys are cool. You're exempt. You're here hanging out with me on this fine Friday morning. So this ain't for you, but to the rest of the world, to everyone out there that's like, I need to just take it easy. I need to pump the brakes for about a month or so. Take it from me. There was a bunch of months that I pumped the brakes and took it easy. It ain't gonna fucking do nothing. The whole time you're sitting there, the whole month you're sitting there drying out. I'm drying out in January, man. I just gotta get my brain right. The whole time you're sitting there drying out, you're waiting for February 1st to just take the edge off. Guaranteed motherfucking to it. You're waiting for February 1st just to blow off some steam, and just kick my feet up and relax. So what's the fucking point? Almost. What's the point? It's not that much different than a diet. You're going to diet for 30 days and then what? Get back to it. Why don't you just change holistically who the fuck you are? 100% playing yourself. Hey, maybe you have the same experience, dude. That's just my experience with it. There were many times I'm just going to take it easy. I need to take this week off from fucking drinking, from getting high, so you can just get back right to it. Anytime I've done that, anytime I took like a long tolerance break, or even when I was on probation or whatever. And again, I acknowledge maybe I'm just that specific type of fucking like degenerate drinker, like that can't have a drop. So the solution to that is don't have any drops. Just don't fucking play with it. But in my experience, anytime it would be a certain period of time off, the whole time I'm off, I'm just waiting to get back on. And then once I was back on, it was back off to the fucking races. It was never just an actually recalibrated behavior, you know? Because that kind of behavior in particular, when it comes to drinking and dry January, I took it really crazy over the holidays. Well, hey man, like I'm just saying, in my experience, yeah, I would get crazy over the holidays, particularly New Year's, particularly Thanksgiving, Friendsgivings and shit, 100%. I would get fucking wasted and just really lean into it and then be like, all right, I got to back up. Got to back up a little bit for a week, and then the next event comes, then you back off a little bit and it's fucking cyclical and it's fucking goofy. So as I'm out here on a fine Friday morning, just thinking, just thinking and talking and reading and pondering and so on and so forth in between a walk and then fucking hundreds of reps to get bigger arms and a broader chest. What's important for me to put out here in the world, you know, good things, I think, as I filed that LLC for my own media company. So welcome, by the way, to Hannas Media by me, Nikki Hannas. It's like the whole point of the fucking media that I create is to do something good, do something good for the culture. If I'm a media personality, let's just say, as a media personality, what is the media that I mediate? That's an important question. It invokes the sense of authenticity and the ethos of the person creating. And I'm a creative dude. I like to think, dude. I like to do stuff. I like to make stuff. I like to just, before I fucking popped on here on YouTube, there was nothing. I didn't have a motherfucking voice. Hey, yo, Smiles, what's up, dude? Happy Friday, brother. Happy New Year. Before I put my face on here with the sunglasses on and started talking some shit, there was nothing at all. Started up here, and now it's created into a product of some sort that is the nature of media, creating media. So why are we creating media? To contribute to something, right? If I started a news channel, I'm going to cut through the bullshit. There's some good news channels out there. There's some good news sources out there, but you're participating in something that already exists and it's bigger than you outside of it. So if I'm a fucking rock and roller musician, talker, I like the emulating radio. So what does Hannas radio sound like in my mind? What is it participating in? What is it contributing to? I want it to contribute in a positive way. When you think, I was talking with my homie last night, what is like the podcast game? What is the influencer game really? It's a pretty new industry. And for many in the industry, it's very industrious, but it's new. Now, back in the 80s, thrash metal was new in 83. You had Metallica, you had Exodus, you had Slayer, you had this, you had them guys. Like 8 years later in the 90s, it wasn't as new. The old heads kind of changed. The old heads had kind of either elevated or fizzled off or whatever. And you needed new people to come in and carry that torch, to think that. And then it goes into the 90s and the whole trends change and the old guard is doing something different. The young bucks are doing something different. The young bucks are getting a little older. So then younger dudes got to come in and keep that fucking machine going. To think that this industry is no different is dumb. All industries are like that. Tech, printing, oil, fucking like food. it's everything is like that. It's innovative at first. The innovators achieve a status. New people come in, and it keeps going. Metallica's in their fucking 60s still playing, but there's 4 generations of bands that have come past them to contribute to this thing bigger than them. And they all offer different flavors, different varieties, different tastes. I think that's important. I see that as like a general principle. So, in terms of this, putting myself online, being creative, talking some shit on a fine Friday morning, what's the point? Well, I want to contribute, you know? And what if I'm going to contribute, it's got to be something good because it's so easy. It'd be so easy to come out here and be like, "Can you see what Netanyahu said? What's Trump doing? Rah, what's going on in Minnesota?" There's a lot of truth to all that shit. I think that level of civic engagement is necessary on some level, but is that what I want to do? Is that the media I want to create? Is that what I want to come out here and talk to y'all about on a Friday morning? Get y'all pissed off. Can you believe your tax dollars are being squandered and turned into bombs that congressmen are signing and then dropping on children? Yeah, it's fucked up, but like, what are we gonna do? Is it time to galvanize and march on the county White House, the county courthouse? Rah. Nah, and that's what a lot of people do. And I don't even know how the fuck I got on this tangent. Point is, I want to do something good. You know, I want to do something good. I want to fucking get up in the morning and take care of myself. It's that old thing, dude. Clean your room before you fucking judge the world. And don't you be throwing glass stones because motherfuckers are ready to throw them at you. So I shouldn't come out here and talk too much shit. I'm not going to come out here and say dry January is dumb. For those people, you know, I would just say take that a step further. You know, if you're inclined and called to do a dry January, maybe you should just really reassess the whole thing you're doing. You know, I want to get in the gym for a month. Why don't you just like keep going? You don't need a month. I want to lose this weight for a couple weeks and, you know, really just drop that 5 pounds. All right, well, why don't you just adjust your lifestyle to it? Why don't you just adjust who you are? Be, do, and have. That's a Myron Golden thing. Be the person who does the thing to have the result. Then you're never bored. Once I learned that lesson, so thank you, YouTube, to the massive structure out here of all these people sharing ideas. Thank you. You know, I'm not going to say this hyper indulgent surveillance state technology is all bad. There's a lot of good to it. Once I learned that idea, be the person who does the thing to have the results. Shit. You start living that way, you ain't never going to be motherfucking bored. I ain't been bored ever since. So, anyway, that's what I got. I'm approaching 20 minutes. I'm running late, and my arms are not pumped at this moment. So, oh boy, we got to change that. Thank you for hanging out with me on this fine motherfucking Friday morning. BS with Hannas on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube at BS with Hannas. I go live, usually improvised, never scripted, semi organized, semi guided. But yeah, BS with Hannas on YouTube. You can find this on Amazon Podcast, Spotify Podcast. Fuck, what's the other one? Spotify, Amazon. What's the other one, guys? Apple Podcast. There we go. I make music. You can find my other YouTube music channel, Nikki B. Hannas. There's some live videos, a couple music videos, official music videos, bunch of guitar jam along sessions, just improv ripping. Improv is cool. Improv is the art of living, dude. Don't matter how. What's the old saying? The Public Enemy song: "Man plans and God laughs." Improvise your way through it. There was a quote from my fucking AA book over here. Um, you know, you're groping your way towards the truth. Yeah, buddy. That's exactly it. So improv is the name of the game, but I digress. Let me go through the plugs again. My dude is calling me. Why are you calling me at fucking 9, 10 in the morning? Anyway, yeah, BS with Behind is live on YouTube at BS with Behind is Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, whatever. Nikki Behind is on YouTube, NikkiBehindas.com, NikkiBehindas.bandcamp.com, Nikki Behind is on all streaming services. If you like this shit, you want to support, I appreciate it. If not, it's all good. Patreon.com/Nikki Behindas. Onwards on this fine Friday, crawling out of hell. Keep it real. One love. Peace.